This is the OTB Television Network.
Hello and welcome to this international edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We're going to start things out in Australia. We're going to head to Randwick Racecourse, and towards the end of last month, we'll start with the AJC Oaks for 3-year-old fillies.
As they run to the back here, and Once Were Wild is taken on by Slapstick at the 1400 metres. So here's a move, putting some speed into the race. Slapstick went to the lead and strode away and led by a length and a half. Once Were Wild from Little Surfer Girl, and Run Fanara's on the outside of it. Then came Ceviche, followed by Absolute Faith. Mirasalo back on the fence, looks to have set a little bit better now, followed by Smart Lady. And then came Faint Perfume on the outside of Speedy Natalie. And Valdemoro is tracking Faint Perfume every step of the way as they run to the side of the track, inside the 1,000 up to the 9. Slapstick the leader, a length and a half on Once Were Wild, who's given a little bit more rein to go closer. Run Fanara tracking them third from Little Surfer Girl, and then came Ceviche on the inside of Absolute Faith. Smart Lady starting to take closer order, so is Mirasalo. Speedy Natalie going up on the inside. Faint Perfume is second last, and Valdemoro is 2 lengths behind it. It's Slapstick the leader with Once Were Wild going up on the outside to Eyeball it. Run Fanara's only a length and a half away, striding into it strongly. Then Little Surfer Girl at the head of the others. Next we've got Absolute Faith and Ceviche, and looking for Run Speedy Natalie. Faint Perfume. Valdemoro is out of business, and Once Were Wild said, "Ta-da, I'll see you later." It raced away about 4 lengths in front of Run Fanara. Faint Perfume is coming down the outside. She might have given away too much start, however. She's chasing valiantly, but Once Were Wild pinched the Oaks. Once Were Wild wins it from Faint Perfume. Run Fanara got third, close for 4, Speedy Natalie or Absolute Faith, and then came in behind them Slapstick.
Once Were Wild picks up the victory. A nice effort by this horse, who was 5th to Faint Perfume in her preparation race for this on April 3rd. She returns and is able to turn the tables on that favorite with Run Fanara back in the 3rd spot. Valdemoro, the co-favorite in the field, quite disappointing in this spot and finishing up the track. The winner, Once Were Wild, is a 3-year-old daughter of Johannesburg from Wild Song by Unbridled Song. So she's got pedigree that looks quite American, trained by the great Miss Gay Waterhouse and ridden to victory by Nash Rowler. Once Were Wild completes the 1.5 miles at Randwick in 2:30.43. Next up, more Grade 1 action in the Doncaster Mile, again in the middle of April.
Under starters' orders. And they're off and racing. And a perfect dispatch. Palacio de Cristo got squeezed out shortly after the start, and the favourite Typhoon Tracy came out very quickly, and she's got the early lead. Going up, Miss Marielle, Mentality, and Rangi Rangdu. Thesio from that wide alley is starting to roll forward. Not all that far away, Recoup de Fortune, and then came Brilliant Light working into a spot just behind them. Followed over on the inside by Wall Street and Snappy Halo. Drumbeats is midfield, followed by Triple Honour. Over on the inside is Road to Rock, followed by LA Wonder. Palacio de Crystal starting to sneak up along the rail to save some ground in that group, as well as they run round the first bend, Centennial Park. Then Tabeek, followed further back by Black Piranha. Danley seemed to get a little bit of a check there, followed by Vision and Power, and last of all is Prima Nova. It's Recoup de Fortune moving up to hit the front at the halfway mark, a half a length in advance of Miss Marielle. Then came Thesio running third, Typhoon Tracy poised behind them fourth. Brilliant Light is making ground, but he's been wide from the time they've jumped, and then came Mentality. Rangi Rangdu stalking the leaders as they come to the turn, followed by Drumbeats and Road to Rock, Snappy Halo, and Palacio de Crystal is saving ground along the inside as they run for home now in the Doncaster Mile, and Recoup de Fortune has taken over clearly and run to the lead from Miss Marielle. Thesio is joining in with Brilliant Light. Typhoon Tracy only labouring, going up on the inside, Road to Rock, and Rangi Rangdu is joining in on the outside. Is it his day today? It's Road to Rock and Rangi Rangdu fighting it out. Rangi Rangdu on the outsiders in front, and Reggie Rangdu gets his Group 1. Beat Road to Rock, Brilliant Light third from Drumbeats. And then Dan Lee, followed by Snappy Halo, and then Triple Honor, followed by Tabeek, and then came Palacio de Crystal.
Rangirandu, not an easy name to say, but a very easy horse to follow. This was his first Grade 1, but he'd been knocking on the door and had run some good races against some pretty nice company. Here he runs over Road to Rock, who was a pretty nice horse in his own right. Brilliant Light finishing in the third spot. Quite disappointing in here was Typhoon Tracy. She finished 14th. Now, there were some excuses, including the fact that it was announced that Peter Moody, her trainer, said that there had been some horses in the barn that had, some mild sickness, a little bit of a cold or a bug going around. So perhaps she was affected by that. Clearly, a very uncharacteristic performance from Typhoon Tracy, who was in the running for Horse of the Year in Australia this year. The winner, Rangirandu, is a 5-year-old gelded son of Pentire from She Wishes by Ken Fair, trained by Chris Waller and ridden to victory by Nash Rowler. Rangirandu covers the about distance of 1 mile at Randwick in 134.22. Next up, Group 1 sprinters in the Galaxy.
Seeking Attention just bouncing around. Gates are back, Seeking Attention missed the start. Also a little bit slowly out was Rostover. Motspur and Gold Trail were the best into stride. Definitely ready going up along the inside to join them shortly afterwards, and not all that far away is Shell Scrape. Motspur settling on the back of the leaders, and it looks like Swift Alliance going up in the middle there as well, followed by Mount Verde, Friday Creek and Striker. Then Seeking Attention. Further back behind them next is Typhoon Z, Rostover a long way back with Dorf Command, and Hortensia's back at the rear of the field. Definitely ready led, but he's hanging out off the track. He's not getting around the bend all that well. He's out towards the centre. Boss trying to steer him around the bend, led from Motspur coming up to join him. He's running right off the track here, definitely ready. Crashed into Motspur. Gold Trail on the outside from Shell Scrape. Swift Alliance in the middle. Striker and Rostover are running on Hortensia's down the outside fence. It's Gold Trail moving up to join this one, definitely ready. Here comes Hortensia. Hortensia from last is storming down the outside. She hits the lead, Hortensia, and she'll go on and win it from either Shell Scrape or Swift Alliance. Then Striker, followed further back behind them by Rostover from Dorf Command.
Hortensia picks up the win. A little bit of a I wouldn't say an upset. Obviously, she was the favorite, but a horse that had kind of been knocking on the door and has that late rallying charge type of a style that sometimes does not do as well at this racetrack as it does at some of the others. But Hortensia gets the victory for Tony Noonan, who'd been knocking on the door for quite some time with this mare. Shell Scrape settling for the second spot with Swift Alliance back in third. Hortensia is a 4-year-old daughter of Testarossa from Aerate's Pick by Picnicker, trained by Tony Noonan, who trains outside of Melbourne at the Mornington Peninsula, ridden to victory by Craig Williams. Hortensia covers the about distance of 5.5 in 103.29. Next up, back to a mile in the Group 1 Champagne Stakes.
All clear given from behind the gates by the assistant starter, and they're off and racing. Jose from gate number 1 hesitated, went back towards the tail. Best out, Bot over Mellow, and led from going up on the outside. Iron Lace, the Ruffian was handy, and so was Skill. Beneteau settling in a forward spot. Chula Vista going up out wide, and so too is Sasa. Then came Anachieva, Fashion back on the inside midfield from Kuta Kalari. Jose picking up some ground along the fence to go in front of about 4 or 5 runners. Turak Toff trapped a little bit wide. And then Presido Divorces, second last, and last is Shadows in the Sun. Going to the first bend, a 9 Lace took up the running. 1,000 to go, led from Chula Vista, striding up into second. Bot over Mellow is third. And then came Skill, followed by Sasa. No luck for it. Posted out 3 wide on a limb. The Ruffian was next, followed by Anachieva. Just being passed by Beneteau, striding up ahead of it, followed by Fashion. And then came Turak Toff and Jose. Then Kuta Kalari. Divorces a long way back, but starting to edge up 3 and 4 wide. Presido back on the fence, and last is Shadows in the Sun. Iron Lace under a tight hold is the leader from Chula Vista and Sasa. Then came Beneteau coming up on the outside of Skilled, so it's within striking distance, Beneteau. Bodo Vermello's on the inside as they turn for home, and then came Anachiever. It's Ironlace just in front as they top the rise. Sasa went up on the outside with Chula Vista. Skilled's running on down the outside, and so is Beneteau. Skilled racing up now to challenge Sasa. Beneteau on the outside is next, and there's a wall of horses with divorces coming. It's Sasa and Skilled finding it out. Sasa and Skilled as they draw down to the line, and Skilled has won it. Skilled has beaten Sasa, and I'm not sure third. Divorces and Achiever and Jose were close up, and then Presido.
Skilled, and another nice performance by this horse, getting his first Group 1 victory. And since opening up his breeding operation down in the Southern Hemisphere, Sheikh Mohammed has had considerable success. But here, Skilled, a 2-year-old, picking up his first Group 1 performance over Sasa, an offspring, a filly offspring of Encosta del Lago, with another filly finishing back in the 3rd spot. That is Divorces, a daughter of the native stallion Domesday. The winner, Skilled, is a 2-year-old son of Commands from Dexterous by Quest for Fame, owned by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum and trained by his house trainer, Peter Snowden, ridden to victory by Josh Parr, who also picked up his first Group 1 win with this victory. Skilled covers the about distance of 1 mile and 136.39. Next up, we'll stretch out to 1.25 miles in April 24th's running of the Group 1 Queen Elizabeth. We'll join the Queen Elizabeth in progress.
So she'd give the leader about 8 or 9. And Jay Ford's got Monaco Consul in front as they go to the next corner near the 1,000. Miss Marielle right on its tail in 2nd spot from Von Romane. Dr. Fremantle goes up on the fence to shade it now from Triple Honour as they drop the speed off, and then Road to Rock. Vision and Power second last, Palacio de Crystal last of all. So no change in the order, nobody making a move as yet. 800 to go. And Monaco Consul from Miss Marielle just striding up a little bit closer up to its quarters. Dr. Fremantle third, and then came Von Romane, and Bowman's the first to make a move on Triple Honour. He starts to stride up quickly now to go to third, and Road to Rock will get onto his back. Vision and Power second last, and Palacio de Crystal still back last of all. So as they near the turn, and Monaco Consul flat to the boards now as Miss Marielle went up to challenge it. Triple Honour on the outside. Dr. Fremantle waits for a run. He's about to come across their heels. Road to Rock was next from Von Romane, who just was flat-footed there. It's Monaco Consul, Triple Honour. Here's Road to Rock. He's chiming in fast on the outside. Road to Rock raced up and hit the lead with Triple Honour. Road to Rock shot away. He was second in the Doncaster. He weighed in overweight, but he's got the cash today. And Road to Rock comes in to win it. Beat Triple Honour. Third home Monaco Consul. Then came Von Romane from Vision and Power. Palacio de Crystal. Dr. Fremantle, every possible, didn't run on, and last in was Miss Marielle.
Road to Rock gets the victory here. This one, of course, who we saw earlier in the program going a little bit shorter, gets a little more distance to work with, and scores the victory for trainer Anthony Cummings over Triple Honour, with Monaco Consul, a 3-year-old, taking on a number of his elders as we're into the late portion of the season, completing the top 3. Off a second in the Doncaster, he settled back, got a good pace, and rallied, and Road to Rock picks up the victory. He's a 5-year-old son of Encosta del Lago from Tree Woman by Midian, trained by Anthony Cummings and ridden to victory by Damien Oliver. Road to Rock covers the about distance of 1.25 miles in 2:03.89. Next up, extended routers going 2 miles in the Sydney Cup. We'll join the Sydney Cup in progress.
1,200 to go, and Zavich the leader. Precedence has sustained that run to move up on the outside, and he goes up to second. He's a neck off the lead now, and then came No Wine, No Song and Divine Rebel. So the pace is on. About 4 or 5 lengths to Harris Tweed, 3 to Spin Around and Get Up Jude. Then a gap in the field to Moatees. He's starting to be niggered along, followed by Cape Cover. Jessica Beale is second last, and Latorio being hard ridden is at the back of the field. 800 to go. Zavich just in front. Precedence on his outside, making him work a little bit. Then came Divine Revel and No Wine, No Song. Harris Tweed about to make his move now. Rod Peel's out 3 and 4 wide. Then Get Up Jude, Cape Cover, followed by Spin Around, and at the head of the others, Jessica Beale is looking to come away from the inside. Moatees is second last, and Latorio can't win into the straight. And Zavich just in front of Precedence and Harris Tweed. Divine Rebel is over on the inside. Jessica Beale starting to work into it. She's coming on strongly. Divine Rebel took the lead at the 200 favourite from Harris Tweed. Jessica Biel has weaved away into the clear and she's about to pounce on them on the outside. Jessica Biel raced up and took the lead with 100 metres to go in the Sydney Cup from Divine Rebel, and Jessica Biel goes on to win it. Another second for Divine Rebel in the Cup. Harris Tweed third, then Cape Cover and Get Up Jude.
Jessica Biel picking up the win, a 4-year-old mare who has done quite well while running extended routes. She tends to get off to a little bit of a slow start, although when you've got 2 miles to crank into your highest gear, you've got plenty of time to get rolling. She turns the tables on New Zealander Divine Rebel with Harris Tweed back in the 3rd spot. Of course, a number of these horses, a type of horses, will get a bit of freshening as they go into the Australian winter, and we'll be back towards the end of the calendar year for races like none other than the Melbourne Cup and many of the others. The 2-mile type horses obviously having quite an opportunity to perform in major company in the Southern Hemisphere. Jessica Biel is a 4-year-old mare, a daughter of Zabil from More Diamonds by Straight Strike, trained by John O'Shea and ridden to victory by Craig Newitt. Jessica Biel covers the about distance of 2 miles in 3:21.86. Next up, 7 furlongs in the Group 1 All-Age Stakes.
They stand well, and the gates are back there off and racing. Metal Bender and Reva Sand both missed the start. Hot Danish was the best out, and she lands in front from Melito and Beaded shortly after the start. Micmac's on their tail. Wider out Mr. Baritone, and then came Demerit sliding up near the inside from Tickets, followed by Dan Lee. He's just past midfield and out a little bit wide early on. Illuminates was next, followed further back by Metal Bender in the centre, and Tutor Reva Sand last of all. But Clark took Hot Danish to the front, and around the first bend, it's just the leader from Mr. Baritone pulling its way up on the outside to go up and worry Hot Danish. Micmac right on their hammer in 3rd position, and then came Melito getting a good run 4th on the rail. Beaded was next from the stablemate Demerit from Tickets, then came Illuminates. Danley a long way back and out a little bit wide still, and then came Metal Bender and Reva Sandback last of all. So Hot Danish, she's looking for a first Group 1. Will she get home today? She leads around the bend here from Mr. Baritone. Melito is next. Micmac swinging out a little bit wider on the track, followed by Demerit, and then came Beaded coming down the outside with Tickets. He's still holding Hot Danish together. She leads from Melito coming up on the inside, then Micmac. Hot Danish in front. Clark goes full board now. She's a neck in front of Melito. Down the outside, Beaded's running on, but it's Hot Danish's day today. Hot Danish is going to lead all the way, and she beat Melito. Beaded got 3rd, so the mares 1, 2, 3. Then came Illuminates finishing 4th.
This is one of the races that a lot of the bigger sprinters like to point to, and this time it goes to Hot Danish, who picks up the victory here, had numerous Grade 1 placings, or Group 1 placings. This was her first Group 1 victory, earned at the age of 6 over Melito, who had beaten her last time out in the T.J. Smith in their prior start. Beaded rounds out the top 3. The winner, Hot Danish, is a 6-year-old mare, a daughter of Nothing Like a Dane from Hot and Breezy by Zephyr Zip, trained by Les Bridge and ridden to victory by Tim Clark. Hot Danish covers the 7 furlongs in 1:22.04. We'll leave Australia and head to Hong Kong for a pair of races from Sha Tin Racecourse. We will go back to the 25th of April first for the Champions Mile, a Group 1 at the about distance of 1 mile.
The crowd have gone off a moment early. One of the attendants still in the stalls. They're vacated now, and here we go. The $12 million Champions Mile, and they're off. And Egyptian Raz jumped nicely. So did Able One, with his head tucked on his chest. Able One is the initial leader. He's got him under restraint, though. And Egyptian Ra at the outside. Sightwood at the inside. Go to the front together, and Beeman's been able to drop Able One back to 3rd. Dow's a handy 4th going forward. 2 further back to Brave Kid. Fellowship one off the fence. Then Beauty Flash settling midfield. 3/4 to Imbongi. Then Sunny King. Good Barbar's got 2 behind him. Thumbs Up and Fair Trade as they run past the 1,000 metres. And Egyptian Ras full of running for Coetzee. Strides clear by 2 lengths on Dow travelling strongly for Lloyd. Sight Winner with cover in 3rd. Length and a half further back to Able One. Then Brave Kid from Fellowship. Beauty Flash Imbongi. Sunny King. Good Barbar. Fair Trade and Thumbs Up is last. Down the side of the course, 700 metres out. Egyptian Ras Ra free striding by a length and a half to Dow Dow. Sight winner third from Able One. Two further back to Brave Kid. Fellowship travelling nicely. Beauty Flash pushing away from the fence from Mbongi. Good Baba. He's got three behind him as they turn, including Thumbs Up, Fair Trade and Sunny King. It's down to the business end. Egyptian Ra from last year's winner, Sight winner. Able One, a winner 3 years back. He goes up to join the leaders. Able One and shot clear at the 200 metres with Fellowship in pursuit to second. Good Baba gives away a big start. Beauty Flash runs on well. It's Able One in front of Fellowship. Able One 3/4 to Fellowship. Beauty Flash third and Able One. Well, it's been a long gap between champions, Miles, but a great effort. Able One beats Fellowship. Beauty Flash third. Then Sunny King from Sight winner Mbongi.
Able One picks up the victory. A nice effort. This is one of those horses that we've seen so many times here on the International HNC. He's been running in Hong Kong for many, many years. At the age of 7, obviously still up to a very good performance as he picks up the win over Fellowship and recent Group 1 winner Beauty Flash. Able One winning this race for the second time. He had won it in 2007. He's the son of Cape Cross from Gardenia, owned by Dr. Lee Fook Kwan and trained by John Moore. Ridden to victory by Darren Beedman. Able One covers the 1 mile on the turf in 1:33.66. We'll head back to May 2nd now, the Audemars Piguet Group 1 Queen Elizabeth Cup.
Mr. Medici takes up his spot. An honour for Alex Lai to be riding in an international Group 1 as the flag goes up. And they're off and racing in the QE2 Cup, and Presvis flopped out to last as expected. Super Pistachio sent out of the gates by Kutsi, although there's a little bit more vigour shown on the Japanese stallion, and Never Bouchon on the rails will go through and lead Super Pistachio on the early part. Mr. Medici's out well and he's crossed into third. Viva Pataka's looking to cross in as well. They're followed by Lizard's Desire, Super Saturn. Two off to Collection. Unique Jewellery gets back, and Presvis stays pressed against the fence as they race past the 1550 metres. And back in the field, Collection starting to over-race a touch. Into the back, and Never Bouchon is striding in the lead by a length to Super Pistachio. Mr. Medici is going to enjoy the gun run from here on. He sits third on the fence, a length off to Viva Pataka. He's travelling strongly but kindly. 3 parts the inside to Lizard's Desire. Super Saturn switched off nicely in 6th. 2 further back to Unique Jewellery. Collections dropped his head, and a length and a half to Presvis as they work down the back of the course. And the Japanese stallion Never Bouchon is striding in the lead. He's freely out in front by a length to Super Pistachio. Mr. Medici third from the 8-year-old Viva Pataka. Then Lizard's Desire 3 back the fence. The Derby winner Super Saturn. White sits high in the irons back in 6th, followed by Collection, Unique Jewellery, and Presvis is back last where he came from to win last year's edition. 700 metres out. Never Bouchon's been running at even sections. From Super Pistachio, Mr. Medici, Viva Pataka, no moves. 3 back the fence, Lizard's Desire. Super Saturn's waiting to cut the ribbons. White had a look around. He can't see anything coming for the time being, but he's got the short price favourite Collection on his inside. Then Unique Jewellery and Presvis is 2 lengths behind them. This would have to be a super effort by Presvis this year. Super Pistachio called upon. He's asked to chase Never Bouchon. Here comes Lizard's Desire, 1 off the fence. Viva Pataka's flat out, but he's coming. Then Super Saturn and Collection to the outside. What a great finish, and Viva Pataka hits the lead. Super Saturn in pursuit. Viva Pataka, Super Saturn. It's the old 8-year-old Viva Pataka. What a grand moment in racing. Viva Pataka staved off the Derby winner Super Saturn and Lizard's Desire. It's very close for second and third.
Viva Pataka, another horse that we've just seen for years and years, it seems, on this program, and they continue to come back. And another horse that had won this race in 2007. This is a rare double for trainer John Moore, who won this race, of course, in 2007 with Viva Pataka, having also won the Champions Mile that year with Able One. And here 3 years later, those 2 horses still in training and still picking up the victory. Viva Pataka scores by a neck over Lizard's Desire, who, of course, you remember from his game's 2nd place finish in the Dubai World Cup. Super Saturn completes the order of the top 3. Also coming out of Dubai was Presvis, who I thought would have a little bit better run here. He did disappoint. Trainer Luca Kamani has indicated that he's okay, and hopefully will be back to fight again another day. Viva Pataka earns his 8th Group 1 victory. He is an 8-year-old son of Marjou from Comic by Be My Chief, owned by Stanley Ho Hung Sun, trained by John Moore, and ridden to victory by Wai Chung Marwing. Viva Pataka covers the 1.25 miles in 2:04.97. We'll pause for a brief message. When we return, we'll be heading to Singapore for more great international racing. Please stay with us. Welcome back to International Horses and Courses. We'll continue now in Singapore. A pair of stakes races on May 16th at Kranji Racecourse. We'll start with the Chris Flyer International Sprint.
Green Birdie stands up well in gate one. Set, racing in the Chris Flyer. A good start. Mariol can't go in the early part, and there goes Gold Trail from Rocket Man and Mexican Rose. Green Birdie holds up in fourth, then Eagle Falls. They're followed by Joy and Fun Antini. Mariol slipping up on the rails inside of Happy Zero. Cheyenne Dancer goes back to last after 200 metres, and Gold Trail is the leader by half a length now on Rocket Man. Green Birdie close at hand third. Mexican Rose one out, one back. Eagle Falls travels strongly in fifth position. He's going between runners, Eagle Falls, as they come down the side. They're followed by Joy and Fun, given a push. Then Antini, Mariol, Happy Zero's giving the maid, and then Cheyenne Dancer. They're coming towards the bend in the Chris Flyer, 4:50 to go. Rocket Man first to set his sights on the winning post. Gold Trail trying to kick towards his inside. Green Birdie lurks. He's up to third place and he finishes off okay. Then Eagle Falls, and they're followed by Mexican Rose and Joy and Fun. Gold Trail with a kick for Australia. Green Birdie, Rocket Man on the outside. Green Birdie's coming after Rocket Man. Rocket Man's just in front. Green Birdie's lifting. Green Birdie beats Rocket Man, and it's Hong Kong again. Third close. Happy Zero flew. He's in a photo with Gold Trail, and then Eagle Falls.
Green Birdie, based in Hong Kong, heads out of town and picks up the victory. A nice performance by the 6-year-old son, and I just love how we see so many of the older horses still running at the highest class levels here. He pulls off the upset over Rocket Man in from a very game try in Dubai last time out. Happy Zero completes the order of the top three. Green Birdie, the winner at 14-1, a son of Catbird from Miss Squillionaire by Last Tycoon, is owned by Roger Lee Ka-chun and trained by Casper Phones, ridden to victory by Mark Duplessis. Green Birdie covers the about distance of 6 furlongs in 109.62. Next up, the Singapore Airlines International Cup, a Group 1 at the about distance of 1.25 miles.
Now we're right. Set for the cup. Gates open, they're off and running, and Jolly Shinju flew out of the inside, and Gloria de Campio goes forward together with White Caddo. Then there's a wall of horses behind them. Kicking up on the rails is Gold Chats, and then La Halid, the Alan and Kingley, Lizard's Desire, tries to push over closer to the inside as El Shamali kicks up as well. Press first, got a bit of a tighten up as they head out of the straight as he tried for an inside run. El Dorado is back second last and 2 lengths away to Dravetti. Heading out of the straight, 1,700 metres to go, and Jolly Shinju has it on her own. She's out 5 lengths on Gloria de Campio, 2 lengths to Waikato. Gold Chats the rails. They're followed by La Halib, El Shamali. Lizard's Desire couldn't get over. He's 3 deep as they head into the back stretch. He's trying to work over a bit closer now, and he does. Just behind those horses over on the inside is Precipice, who's a little closer. Yaman and Kingley to his outside, a couple of lengths to Eldorado, and Dravetti is 2 lengths away at the tail. We've got 2 races here. Jolly Shinju, Gloria de Campio in one race, the rest are in another. These 2 are bolted away by about 6 lengths on Waikato in third. They're followed by Gold Chats, La Halib, El Shamari. The next one is, as they run down the side of the course, Lizard's Desire. They're followed by Precipice, then Yaman and Kingley, Eldorado, and Dravetti drops out to last. 600 metres to go. Jolly Shinju tried to make all, and she's doing well. She's out 2 lengths on Gloria de Campio. 5 lengths away to Waikato. Then La Halib, Gold Chats. The next one is El Shamali. They're followed by Lizard's Desire coming to the outside. Precipice in a similar position to last year. He gives them 6 lengths turning for home. Jolly Shinju with a kick. Gloria de Campio moves up the Jollies. Gloria de Campio goes to the lead by a length on Jolly Shinju. Now they're starting to close. Lizard's Desire is coming home well. Waikato, El Shamali is still there. Gloria de Campio can see Lizard's Desire coming. Lizard's Desire on the outside of Gloria de Campio. Gloria de Campio tries to kick the Lizards. Lizard's Desire squares the ledger and gets there by a neck on Gloria de Campio. Third El Shamali, then Waikato, Jolly Shinju.
Lizard's Desire turning the tables on Gloria de Campo. And of course, these 2 had finished 1-2 in the opposite order in Dubai in the Dubai World Cup. Last year, Gloria de Campo, off a second in the Dubai World Cup, had picked up the victory in this race. Here he was just beaten, but certainly in a game performance. Al Shamali, the horse that you may remember from that enormous upset in the Dubai Duty Free, proves that maybe that wasn't such an enormous upset after all, and runs a solid third. The winner, Lizard's Desire. Second to Viva Pitaka in the Queen Elizabeth. Also in the interim since the Dubai World Cup, he is a 4-year-old son of Lizard Island from Ansfield by Northfields, who was bred in South Africa and is owned by Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Maktoum, trained by Mike DeCock and ridden to victory by Kevin Shea. Lizard's Desire covers the about distance of 1 1/4 miles in 2:02.12. We'll remain in Asia. We'll head to Japan, and the season for 2010 is really heating up there. One of their 2 biggest route races, the one run in the spring, the Tenno Show Spring, a Group 1 run on the 2nd of May. It is 2 miles. We'll join the Tenno Show Spring in progress.
2,000 metres to run. On its inside as they go past the winning post the first time is Namara Crescent. Then a further gap back to Kanatoshi Soleil, Forgettable. Out wide is Meisho Beluga. Tokai Trick is there, but starting to press forward now. A gap further back to Bellwood Lotse. Air Shady second last. Mainstream pressing on, and Jamil, one of the fancied runners, is last. Well, they go into the third turn, and Mickey Petra leads the way from last year's winner, Minor Kits. Running third is Golden Mane. On the inside, Field Bear, then TM Encore. Not too much change in the order with the top group. A gap back to Meisho Dontaku. Then 2 lengths further away is Airs Yapangu. Then comes Jaguar Mail. Namara Crescent, Forgettable starting to get closer now. Then Kanatoshi Soleil, Meisho Beluga. On the inside is Tosen Crown. Tokai Trick, Mainstream out 3 wide. Bellwood Lotse, Air Shady with a lot to do, and Jamil with even more to do. They go up the rise here at the Kyoto Racecourse with about 1,200 metres to run, and Mickey Petra still leads the way from last year's winner, Minor Kits. Field Bears still there. Golden Mane losing ground. Meisho Dontaku trapped out 3 wide, but coming into it as well. TM Encore. Jaguar Mail poised nicely with Craig Williams. Forgettable starting to surge forward now. On the inside is Air Japangu. Running on out wide is Meisho Beluga. In the middle, Tokai Trick. Kanatoshi Soleil almost in trouble there. There's a skirmish with Air Shady caught into trouble with Kanatoshi Soleil coming back onto it. And back on the inside, Bellwood Lotse. They run down a Mainstream, one of the last ones. It's Minor Kits, skipped away by 2 lengths, running on Jaguar Mail and Meisho Dontaku. Minor Kits, here comes Jaguar Mail. Minor Kits in front, stretches nicely. Jaguar Mail's the one. Jaguar Mail, Craig Williams goes on and scores. Group 1 success in Japan. Jaguar Mail beat Minor Kits. Meisho Dontaku got third. then Namara Crescent, a gap further on the inside, Air Japangu, then came Forgettable, the favourite, didn't run on.
Jaguar Mail, and a little bit of a solid performance here. Not quite the favorite. He was the second choice, but just under 6-1. So you certainly were getting value on him as he picks up the win over Minor Kits, with Meisho Donetku finishing back in the third spot. Jaguar Mail, another horse earning his first Group 1. This is a horse that's been around for quite some time and running against some of the better company in his native Japan. He is a 6-year-old son of Jungle Pocket from Haya Beni Komachi by Sunday Silence. Bred in Japan by Aoi Farm, owned by Kazumi Yoshida, trained by Noriyuki Hori, and ridden to victory by Australian rider Craig Williams. Jaguar Mail covers the about distance of 2 miles in 3:15.70. We'll head to Tokyo Racecourse now for a pair of stakes going back to the 5th of this month. First, the NHK Mile at Grade 1 with a purse of about $2 million.
Stand by. And they're racing in the NHK Mile Cup for the 15th time. A pretty even dispatch. A little slower way out the back was Asian Whitey. Commencing well on the inside was Cosmo Sensor. Asian Duckman from a wide gate presses on, is expected to take up the lead after the first 200 metres. Tucked in just behind them, very nice and handy early, is Sunrise Prince. Not too far away, King Leopold. Along the fence, the fillies Sound Barrier. Outside her is Pas de Trois. Then came Asian Apollon, followed by Daiwa Barbarian. Up there is Lille Duval, along with Nishino Meigetsu, with Garbo a little wide. Then comes Reto, a gap further back to Shigeru Motonari. Along the fence is Kyoei Ashura, Monty Fuji-san. Then comes Danon Shanti, who's well back. Does have a big finish, but he might need it from there. Then a gap further back on the inside to Toshi Gangstar. And outside it is Asian Whitey. They get down with 700 metres to run, and Asian Duckman leads. On the inside is Cosmo Sensor. Sunrise Prince not too far away with King Leopold. Garbo pulls out. Daiwa Barbarian not too far away. Whacking along the fence is Reto as they get down with 400 metres to run. Asian Duckman, well, he's quacked his last run and taken on by Sunrise Prince. Daiwa Barbarian, Lille Duval, and here comes Danon Shanti down the middle of the track. Lille Duval shifting out slightly, taken quickly. Sunrise Prince by Daiwa Barbarian. Danon Shanti surges forward. Danon Shanti strikes the front from Daiwa Barbarian, and Lille Duval in for third with Sunrise Prince fourth. Then late was Kyoei Ashura. There's a big run from a rank outsider.
Danon Shanti picking up the win in a very fast time. In fact, setting a new course record with this victory over Daiwa Barbarian, with Lille Duval back in the third spot. This is a very quick 3-year-old in a solid group of 3-year-olds that they have running this spring, and obviously the record time would indicate that you're looking at a pretty classy group of horses, as Danon Shanti, a dark bay brown 3-year-old son of Fuji Kiseki from Chansonnet by Mark of Esteem, was bred in Japan by Darley Japan, owned by Danox Company Limited, trained by Kunihide Matsuda, and ridden to victory by Katsumi Ando. Danon Shanti covers the 1 mile in a new course record of 1:31.40. Next up, Group 1 fillies and mares going the mile in the Victoria Mile.
Stand by. They're set. Racing in the 5th Victoria Mile. A fairly even dispatch except for Microcosmos. Well, the one that delayed at Bravo Daisy was the fastest begin along the fence, best location from Hikaru Adamanthus. Up there pressing on is Provenage. There's 1 Carat not too far away from Broad Street. Along the fence is Wedding Fujoka. Then a gap out wide, I Am Kamino Mago. In the middle is Nishino Blue Moon. Along the fence is Shisei Kaguya. Outside it is Columbus Circle. Trapped a little wide, but starting to move forward there. The one in the pink cap is Red Desire, midfield. Then another 2 lengths further back to Yamanin Imayur. Then comes Buena Vista, Mood Indigo, well back. With La Dorada even further back. Microcosmos and Arco Signora is last of all, past the 800 metre mark, showing the way as best location from Bravo Daisy, who ran second last year, running third Provenage. Then 3 lengths further back to Yukata Adamanthus. Then comes 1 Carat. I Am Kamino Mago. Along the fence is Wedding Fujoka. Red Desire is the widest of that group, pulling out. Buena Vista's there along with Microcosmos with a lot of work to do at the 400 metre mark. It's Bravo Daisy finding the lead, going past best location. Quite a few of these doing the chasing down the middle. Red Desire through the middle. I Am Camino Margot. 1 Carat still whacking away. Here comes Red Desire and Buena Vista. Buena Vista, the widest runner of all, and even wider out Microcosmos. Buena Vista strikes the front. Hikaru Adamanthus spears through along the inside. They hit the wire. Buena Vista narrowly. Hikaru Adamanthus late was Nishino. Blue Moon was a big run. Then not too far away, Red Desire. Then came 1 Carat.
Some familiar faces here as Buena Vista picks up the victory. Her performance in Dubai last time out in the Shima Classic, a very game second behind Dar Re Mi. Last year, the winner of the Japanese Guineas and Oaks had a maybe less than terrific performances over in Dubai, but I certainly was very pleased with her second. I thought she ran a good effort in the Shima Classic, and here she returns to her native Japan and scores in Group 1 company over a very good and full field of fillies. Buena Vista is a dark bear brown 4-year-old filly, a daughter of Special Week from Biwa Heidi by Kirlian. Bred by Northern Racing in Japan and owned by Sunday Racing Company Limited, trained by Hiroyoshi Matsuda and ridden to victory by Norahiro Yokoyama. Buena Vista covers the about distance of 1 mile on the turf at Tokyo in 1:32.40. We'll leave Asia and head to Europe, where the spring season is picking up in both Great Britain and Ireland. We'll start things out by heading to Newmarket the first weekend of the month. Always a big weekend. Of course, here in the States, it's Kentucky Derby, and there it is Guineas weekend. We'll start things out with the 202nd running of the 2000 Guineas from Newmarket.
For the stand, James, 2000 Guineas. They're ready. They're off. Racing away then, and as they leave the mile start, Alzira a little bit slow into his stride. Dick Turpin's one of the first to show. Lord Zenith with the noseband racing prominently. Red Jazz is towards the stand side with Elusive Pimpernel, and also with these is Orzan. Greyfriars Chorister in the blue and oranges to towards the front rank, and also Fencing Master with the white cap. Fair Trade off to the left in the very pale jacket is followed through by Buzzword. So Nicholas Abbey is about 5th or 6th at the moment, only a length and a half off the leaders. They head then down towards the halfway stage. Dick Turpin in the black and red leading in the centre. To Fencing Master, Greyfriars Chorister. Fair Trade is followed by Buzzword on the extreme left. Red Jazz and Orzan on the right, just in behind the leaders. So Nicholas Abbey just a length in behind those, and Alzir, and behind this McPhee, and they're being followed through by Extension. Then comes Inler. Then comes Hearts of Fire. Canford Cliffs is towards the back of the field, struggling. It's the early stages, Elspeth's Boy and also Audacity of Hope. They're approaching now the bushes, and as they do so, Dick Turpin, St Nicholas Abbey is asked to come now on the far side. Fencing Masters there, Red Jazz, Elusive Pimpernel the stand side. Behind those is Extension as they head down into the dip now, and it's Dick Turpin leading to Extension in second place. Fencing Master in third. McPhee with a noseband in the centre, coming home very strongly. Inside the last furlong, Dick Turpin in front. McPhee's moved into second position. Canford Cliffs in third. McPhee, though, is going to win it for France with Christophe Lemaire. McPhee won to Dick Turpin in second place. Canford Cliffs in third, and Extension ran fourth.
McPhee pulls off a bit of an upset in this performance with a nice win, and a little bit of a surprise in that there were a couple of horses that really took a fair amount of money in the betting. 33-1 on the winner for very strong connections, as the even money favorite St. Nicholas Abbey, previously undefeated, goes down to defeat running up the track 6th, as McPhee scores the win over Dick Turpin, with Canford Cliffs a horse to watch as we start to stretch out a little bit, finishing in the 3rd spot. The winner, McPhee, is a 3-year-old son of Dubawi from Dalal by Green Desert, bred by Shadwell and owned by Matthew Offenstadt. He's being pointed for the St. James Palace Stakes at Royal Ascot. Scoring the victory for trainer Mikel Delzanglis, who is a former assistant to Alan Royer-Dupree, and ridden to victory by Christophe Lemaire. McPhee covers the about distance of 1 mile in the first of the Newmarket Classics in 1:36.35. Next up, 3-year-old fillies going the flat mile in the 1,000 Guineas.
It looks as if Rameau should be the last one. She comes forward and they're ready. They're off, racing then for the StanJames.com 1,000 guineas as they come from the starting gates. Miss Shea, one from the left, is pulling very strongly, but Michael Hills brings Sent from Heaven towards the stand side, made a beeline for this stand side rails and leads up there to Gillen Grainer. Just in behind these as well is Habayib. Jacqueline Quest is in company with that group. Down the centre it is Nurture who's just about the leader there. Special Duty is last on the stand side group of runners as they race through the first couple of furlongs. Down the centre, Pollinator, Nurture is up with these. Hibayeb showing with them. Ramouche towards the left of this group in company with those Blue Maiden in the red jacket. They're followed through by Pipette. The setters at the back of this group, and Miss Shea in the white and red, who steered a rather errant course in the early part of the race, has come to join him at the half-mile marker now, and it is the blue and pink of Sent from Heaven, the stand side to Gillen Grainer. Devoted to You just up on the outside then of Habayib. In behind those is Jacqueline Quest, and then comes Special Duty, and this group are ahead as they approach the bushes. Down the centre, Pollinator and Music Show are up there. In behind those is Pipette, and then also Setters coming with a challenge, heading down towards the dip now, and as they do so, Jacqueline Quest in the yellow and green has come through to just about take it up. Special Duty is coming through to challenge her. Gillen Grainer still there. Sent from Heaven also under the stand side group. Down the far side they're being led through by Music Show, but it is Jacqueline Quest and Tom Queally being pressed by Special Duty as they race towards the line. There's very tight between these two fellas. They're going to hit it together. I can't split them. Jacqueline Quest and Special Duty, Gillen Grainer behind them, and then Sent from Heaven in fourth. Photograph.
And crossing the line first, it was Jacqueline Quest, but there was a considerable inquest into the running of the race, and as a result, Special Duty ends up being bumped up to the top spot. That's a pretty big move up. This is a very important, as you can see, 196th running of a very important event, and turning the tables, getting the win here, Special Duty, despite having crossed the line in the second spot. And ironically enough, a couple of weeks later, this filly was going to be back on track in the French 1,000 guineas, and the same thing would happen to her. She would be the victim of an interference, and would end up picking up two consecutive, very important, historic Group 1 wins on disqualifications. I don't know if that's happened before. The winner, Special Duty, is a chestnut daughter of Hennessy from Quest to Peak by Distant View. Her dam, Quest to Peak, is a full sister to American Group 1 winner Sightseek. She was bred by Juddmonte Farm and owned by Prince Khalid Abdullah, of course the owner of Juddmonte, and his colors carrying there the familiar pink with the green cross sash. Trained by Cricket Head and ridden to victory by Stéphane Pasquier. Special Duty covers the about distance of 1 mile in 1:39.66. We'll pause for one more brief message, and when we return, we've got more great racing action from Europe. Welcome back to International Horses and Courses. We will continue now with some racing action from the spring meeting at York. And amongst the important stakes there is the Group 2 Musidora Stakes at 1.25 miles for 3-year-old fillies, one of the major preps for the Oaks a little bit later on in the season.
Passing halfway, they straighten for home with 4.5 furlongs left to cover. Bikini Babe still leading, stalked by Cabaret and Red Fantasy close up. Then Eleanora Dews, Aviate the far side from Gold Bubbles, Pink Symphony being pushed along and Cracking Lass hard at work at the tail of the field. Down towards the final 3 furlongs, Bikini Babe stretching them out here. Cabaret being pushed along in pursuit. Eleanora Dews the pale jacket. Aviate seeking a passage in behind Gold Bubbles, improving out wide. Red Fantasy tightened up against the fence. Bikini Babe still leads down inside the final 1/4 mile, chased by Eleanora Dews, then Gold Bubbles. Aviate in the clear but under quite firm pressure. Pink Symphony from the rear beginning to run on down the centre of the course. They get to Bikini Babe. Gold Bubbles and Eleanora Dews go on. Aviate down the outside. Pink Symphony. Gold Bubbles went to the front inside the furlong. Edges on. Aviate finishing with a flourish. Gold Bubbles being reeled back by Aviate, who might just have got up close home. Aviate and Gold Bubbles in a finish of heads to the Musidora, followed home by Eleanora Dews and Pink Symphony.
Aviate picks up the victory as one of the choices at 11-4 for trainer Henry Cecil, who has now won this race 9 times, and she is of course going to be trying to use this as a launching pad to victory in the Oaks at Epsom a couple of weeks ahead. She scores over Gold Bubbles with Eleanora Dews back in the 3rd spot. The winner, Aviate, is a 3-year-old daughter of Dan Silly from In Plain by Irish River, bred in Great Britain by Juddmonte, owned by Prince Khalid Abdullah. Now a record of 3 for 3 for trainer Henry Cecil. Eddie Ahern in the irons. Aviate covers the 1.25 miles in 2:09.14. Next up, we'll head back to York, the Group 2 Duke of York Stakes for older sprinters.
That's it, they're all in for the Duke of York Blue Square Stakes. They're off. 6 furlongs ahead of them. Showcasing didn't jump quite as well as 1 or 2 of the others. May Name in the centre with a pink cap broke smartly. Prime Defender towards the far side with Star Spangled Banner, but all headed off by the Nose Bandit In Exile, who blazes his way through the first furlong and a half, chased by Star Spangled Banner. Edge closer on the near side and towards the right, Prime Defender, followed by Angles Arc in a red jacket. May Name in the centre, and then safe in the dark green from Judd Street and Damien and Doncaster Rover, and Showcasing is towards the rear. Heading down towards halfway, In Exile leading the field. Mullion Mile an Hour on the extreme left is just a little isolated behind Doncaster Rover. They've got 3 or 4 lengths to find, as In Exile is now challenged by Prime Defender. Star Spangled Banner driven along between the 2. Edge closer in 4th. Then May Name and Angles Arc from Saif and Damien. Few have looked like landing a blow here. Furlong and a half to go. Prime Defender and Star Spangled Banner move on from In Exile. Showcasing is now beginning to run on from the rear with Doncaster Rover. Prime Defender inside the furlong is in front, but Showcasing the near side is thrusting at him. Then Doncaster Rover. Prime Defender Showcasing. Doncaster Rover. May Name late on the scene. Prime Defender holds on bravely and wins the Duke of York. A very close for second. May Name running on with Showcasing, then Doncaster Rover, followed home by Star Spangled Banner.
Prime Defender gets the victory and perhaps earns himself a chance at Royal Ascot in a race like the Golden Jubilee. His first Group 1 victory, but he had run against some very nice horses throughout the course of his career. Here he scores over Showcasing with Main Aim back in the 3rd spot. A little disappointing in this field was Star Spangled Banner, making his first start in Europe for Aidan O'Brien after having been transferred from the Coolmore operation in Australia. The winner, Prime Defender, is a son of Bertolini from Arian Da by Superlative. Trained by Barry Hills and ridden to victory by Robert Winston, Prime Defender covers the about distance of 6 furlongs in 1:11.19. We'll continue racing action now from York with the Middleton Stakes, a Group 2 for fillies and mares.
It's fit as a fiddle. This is a cracker.
Here's Stewart. Lines off. They're off for the Totesport.com Middleton Stakes over 1.25 miles. There's 4 strong field, and Onimier with a noseband is the first to cross over and lead, but Spencer wants to ensure a decent test at the trip aboard Sariska. And he sends the filly Prominent on the outside. Brisk early pace through the first furlong and a half. Flying Cloud, the Raw Blue Jacket, tracking the leading pair with Midday in the hands of Eddie Ahern, slotting in against the running rail. So Sariska striding on as they make their progress across the Knavesmire, tracked by Onimier. Flying Cloud seeing plenty of daylight at Midday, just last of this 4-strong field. Move towards the end of 3.5 furlongs, head past the 7, and Sariska setting the pace here, just a little over a length up on Onimier. Flying Cloud, this 3-time winner on her seasonal return for the Godolphin outfit, racing wide, and Midday cutting the corner in the hands of Eddie Ahern for Khalid Abdullah and Henry Cecil, that teamed up here to win the Musadora yesterday with Aviate. Approaching halfway in the Middleton, Sariska still leading from Onimier. A nice toe through on the inside for Midday. Flying Cloud just last of the quartet. He just has to niggle away now on Midday as they reach the top of the straight, and Sariska strides out with purpose, chased by Onimier, and Midday quite hard at work, angling for a little bit more daylight. Flying Cloud meanwhile begins to make progress out in the centre, but Sariska and Spencer continue to control it here. Flying Cloud emerges as the threat if there is one. Midday flat to the boards in third. Onimier is outpaced, 2.5 furlongs to go, and now he shakes the reins at Sariska, and the Oaks Heroine lengthens and lengthens impressively, readily draws away here from Flying Cloud. Then Midday now not knocked about in third. Onimier is well beaten, so Sariska down to the last furlong in the Middleton Stakes with the lead of 3 or 4 lengths over Flying Cloud. Midday's keeping on at the 1 pace. Sariska still with his 3 lengths advantage, just beginning to paddle a little in front, and now on the far side Midday is beginning to close the deficit. Sariska, however, will do enough to hang on, and the Oaks Heroine is back with a win. Sariska takes the Middleton from Midday, with Flying Cloud in third and Onimier in fourth.
As the favorite, Sariska picks up the victory, the winner last year of some very important races, and here she returns victorious over Midday, who had picked up the win in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf last year. Flying Cloud rounds out the top 3. The winner, Sariska, a 4-year-old daughter of Pivotal from Maycox Bay by Mutaram, was bred by Lady Carol Bamford and trained by Michael Bell, ridden to victory by Jamie Spencer. Coronation Cup possible next start for Sariska, who has obviously returned off of her winter freshening quite good, looking like she hasn't lost a step at all off of last year's performances, and she wins the Middleton in a mile, covering the 1.25 miles in 2:06.20. We'll continue with racing action from York with the Dante Stakes, a major prep for the Derby Stakes coming up later on in the year.
As they head past the 7, so Circumvent and Paul Halligan leading the Dante field, closely attended by Coordinated Cut, now ranging up to the leaders' quarters. Cape Blanco stalking them from Workforce, and Shabal is still weighted with. Beginning the turn back towards home, they pass the 6. Circumvent ensuring this is a decent test of the trip, shadowed by Coordinated Cut. Cape Blanco taking a tug in third place, and now Frankie makes a move out wide and angles out Shabal just to cover any move that Ryan Moore and Workforce may make as they straighten for home with a little over 4.5 furlongs left to cover. Circumvent then leads them in, heading down towards the last half mile from Coordinated Cut. Now both Workforce and Shabal are being bustled along at the back of the field. Workforce head to one side, just leaning into the rail, running a little green, as Circumvent is now challenged by Coordinated Cut. Cape Blanco is in the clear. Then Workforce just beginning to find his stride on the far side, but still hanging. Shabal meanwhile last of 5 under strong pressure, running down towards the final 1/4 mile. Coordinated Cut went to the front, challenged by Cape Blanco. Workforce tongue lolling out against the fence with a couple of lengths to find, and Cape Blanco strikes on down to the furlong. Workforce now staying on to challenge Coordinated Cut for second. Shabal is well beaten. Cape Blanco 3 lengths clear, well inside the furlong, not for catch in Murta, driving him out to make sure, but a third Dante for Aidan O'Brien. Cape Blanco remains unbeaten and wins in good style. Home in second, just getting the hang of things late on Workforce, then Coordinated Cut, Shabal and Circumvent.
Cape Blanco picking up the win, a 4th win in this race for trainer Aidan O'Brien, who sent this son of Galileo out to pick up the win over Workforce with Coordinated Cut back in the 3rd spot. Now 4 for 4 for his connections. He won the Futurity last year at Ferry House as a 2-year-old in his most recent start. An interesting pedigree, a son of Galileo from Laurel Delight, making him a half to Mr. O'Brien, who is a Group 1er here in the United States. Trained by Aidan O'Brien for Smith, Magner, and Tabor. Ridden to victory by Johnny Murtaugh. Kate Blanco covers the 1.25 miles in 2:06.40. We'll head right back to York now. Extended rooters going 1 3/4 miles in the Yorkshire Cup will join the Yorkshire Cup in progress.
Towards the end of half a mile. So Oasis Knight with an advantage of a little over a length from Manifest. Tracked by Wajir, who continues to race quite keenly, taking a firm grip of the bit. Purple Moon shadowing, and then Nanton still in last position, moving steadily towards the end now of 5.5 furlongs. Oasis Knight has just upped the tempo a little, strides into a lead of a shade over 2 lengths from Manifest. Wajir on the near side of Purple Moon. Nanton still observing from last place, moving down now to the halfway point. Oasis Knight, Fortune just steals a peek in behind and he steadies it down again, and Manifest ranges up to within 1.5 lengths. Wajir has now settled rather better in third, a half length up on Purple Moon, and Nanton still weighted with this 10-time winning gelding at the tail. So heading now for the final 6 furlongs, about to sweep for home. Oasis Knight, it's been something of a stop-start gallop so far. Strides on again by a couple of lengths from Manifest. Purple Moon on the far side of Wajir, and no move yet from Nanton. Tempo on the increase once more, heading down towards the 5. Oasis Knight trying to stretch them out, but can't get Manifest off the bridle at present. Purple Moon has travelled up kindly, then Wajir, and still Nanton waiting in the wings. Top of the straight, head for the final 4.5 furlongs in the Emirates Airline Yorkshire Cup. The outsider Oasis Knight leads them in. Manifest angling out down the centre of the course. Purple Moon niggled along. Frankie sitting a little lower in the saddle now. Wajir, who begins to close, and then Nanton sprints on for home down to the final 3. Manifest quickens to lead. Wajir challenges, then Purple Moon. Nanton now going off in pursuit of the 3. Oasis Knight beaten. Manifest having to work hard in front down to the final 1/4 mile. Wajir away to the right. Dettori in the drive position. Then Purple Moon. Nanton struggling to land a blow. Manifest lengthens well on the ground, stretches away, found a turn of foot just outside the furlong, and has surely put this to bed now. Manifest 6, 7, 8 lengths clear. Name the distance. Manifest drawing right away. Purple Moon has gone off in vain pursuit, and then Wajir, but this is clearly a smart stayer, and Manifest absolutely bolts up to win the Yorkshire Cup in great style. Purple Moon is second, Wajir third, then Oasis Knight and Nanton.
Scoring away by 8 lengths is Manifest, and we don't often see those kinds of extended victories, even in some of the extended route races in Europe. They're just not all that common, but here he kicks clear of the very accomplished Purple Moon for Luca Cumani, with Wajir back in third. The winner, Manifest, obviously one of the candidates for the Ascot Gold Cup. With the retirement of Yeats last year, it looks like this is a race that could be open for the taking this year. And of course, the Ascot Gold Cup, certainly one of the key races that so many horses do point for. Trainer Henry Cecil has indicated that that is likely his next goal. Ridden to victory by Tom Queally, Manifest covers the about distance of 1 3/4 miles in 2:58.99. We'll continue with racing action from Europe. We'll head to Newbury next. The Group 1 Lockinge Stakes at the about distance of 1 mile.
Handler about to move away. Handler in to assist the checker. And they're off. And the checker was the one that was a little slow to find stride early on. Pipe Dreamer is prominent in company, as well as the Quinto and Stimulation. Stimulation, who looks as if he's going to adopt the front-running tactics, albeit at no more than a steady pace. Now being joined by Prince of Dance. In third place is Lord Shanakill in the blue and green. Zakinto on the left in the pink cap, ahead of Pipe Dreamer in the noseband. Paco Boy in the maroon with the white face is settled in 6th place early on from Ukbar. Then the checker, and last of all is Kigali, as Stimulation and Prince Prince of Dance set just a steady tempo through the first couple of furlongs. Lord Shanakill in the blue colours races in third. Fourth is disputed by Pipe Dreamer on the right and Zakinto on the left. Then in midfield remains Paco Boy. The checker in red and black, Kigali and Ukbar still towards the tail of the field. So stimulation for Darrell Holland. Leading past halfway. Prince of Dance in second place. Lord Shanakill still travels comfortably enough. Zakinto just being niggled along. Paco Boy amongst horses but full of running, it would appear at this stage. Then comes Ukbar to the right, Pipe Dreamer. Then the checker as they make their way now with 2.5 furlongs to travel. Lord Shanakill still lobbing along behind them. Paco Boy, his rider in no hurry at all. Pipe Dreamer towards the outside in company with Ukbar Stimulation. The checker tries to stay on, but Paco Boy is laughing at them. Would appear in a Group 1 race from Lord Shanakill, then Pipe Dreamer, the checker and Ukbar. Now Paco Boy's asked to go because Ukbar got first run on the far side, but Paco Boy picks up well. Ukbar can't go with him. Supreme class. Paco Boy rights the wrong of last year's Lockinge and wins decisively. Ukbar second, Lord Shanakill third, the checker and Pipe Dreamer, Kigali and Stimulation.
Paco Boy, a very explosive performance from this horse who has just continued to move from strength to strength, and he has really developed at the age of 5 now into a superb horse with a very nice closing kick no matter where he's placed on the racetrack. This was his third Group 1 win, and it does appear that he will be pointing now for a repeat in the Queen Anne Stakes at Royal Ascot. The son of Desert Style from Tappensy by Sandhurst Prince was bred in Ireland by Joan Brown and is owned by Calvera Partnerships and trained by Richard Hannon. Ridden to victory by Richard Hughes, Paco Boy covers the about distance of a mile in 137.31. Next, we're going to head to Ireland for a trio of races from the Curragh Run on the weekend of the 22nd and 23rd of May. We'll kick things off with the 2,000 guineas.
Land the prize once again. Let's join Tessie for the Irish 2000.
They're off. And Encompassing came away smartly in the centre. Fencing Master is prominent. Keradari right up in the centre of the track. Oasis Dancer tracks on the inside with Viscount Nelson. And then Purple Heart trying to get towards the leaders on the outside. So they settle down now as they begin to race towards the elbow. And in the centre of the track, Encompassing leads. Oasis Dancer on the inside. Keradari and Fencing Master next. Purple Heart on the outside of Extension. They're being followed by Viscount Nelson. But the leader is Encompassing, followed by Oasis Dancer, the grey on the left, the green jacket of Keradari in the centre. Purple Heart being pushed up on the outside of Extension. Tracking them is Fencing Master, Sebastian Flight and Viscount Nelson, Canford Cliffs and Null Wallop, and then comes behind these leaders Steinbeck with Dynasty and Free Judgment, but out in front as they race on now outside the 3 mark. Encompassing is out clear, being followed by Oasis Dancer, Keradari. Then comes Extension over on the far side, Fencing Master. Canford Cliffs just in behind them with Sebastian Flight and Viscount Nelson. And now Extension comes to challenge Oasis Dancer. Keradari is next. Viscount Nelson is staying on. Canford Cliffs is coming there now in the centre of the track. Free Judgment putting in a late bid. Over on the far side now, it's Extension with Canford Cliffs and Richard Hughes coming right through. And Canford Cliffs has burst away from them as they race up towards the finish. It's a tremendous performance for Canford Cliffs. It's classic victory for Richard Hughes and Richard Hannon. Free Judgment, huge run second. Then came Viscount Nelson, Steinbeck and Extension.
Canford Cliffs picks up the victory in the Irish 2,000 guineas. A nice performance by this horse coming off of that solid third in the English partner to this race and turning the tables on a couple of those runners, scoring over Free Judgment with Viscount Nelson back in third, the best performer out of the Aidan O'Brien yard. The winner, Canford Cliffs, is a 3-year-old son of Tagula from Mrs. Marsh by Marjou, owned by the Heifer Syndicate, and Mrs. Roy and Mrs. Instance. He was bred in Ireland by S&S Hubbard Rodwell, trained by Richard Hannon, and ridden to victory by Richard Hughes. Canford Cliffs covers the about distance of 1 mile at the Curragh in 137.64. Next up, right back to Ireland in the Tattersalls Gold Cup at the extended route of 1 mile and 5/16. We'll join the Gold Cup in progress.
making the descent now to take them down on the approach to the straight in the Tattersalls Gold Cup. And Dixie Music, Shamie Heffernan lead by 6 to 7 lengths to Fame and Glory, who in turn is out in front of Recharge, Chinese White and Cutlass Bay, and Halicarnassus the back marker. Beginning now to make the run on the home turn, less than half a mile to go, and Dixie Music a couple of lengths in front. Fame and Glory closing on the leader in second. They're being followed by Recharge, then Chinese White, Cutlass Bay and Halicarnassus straightening up for home now. Little over 2 to go, and Fame and Glory coming there now for Johnny Murtha to pick it up. Chinese White and Recharge make ground towards the outside as they race now to the final furlong. Fame and Glory in front from Chinese White and Recharge as they race to the final furlong. Fame and Glory is out in front now, stretching on clear. Chinese White and Recharge, and then Halicarnassus. But Fame and Glory makes it 2 out of 2 now in his 4-year-old career and wins this by 8 lengths. Fame and Glory from Recharge, Chinese White, Halicarnassus.
Fame and Glory, another one that looks to be heading into the Cup division through the course of this summer for very solid connections, and obviously looks to be a horse to keep your eye on again in races like the Coronation Cup, which is expected to be his next start. Fame and Glory won the Irish Derby last year, obviously handling the Curragh course quite nicely, and taking command with about 2 furlongs to go, was then not headed for the Aidan O'Brien operation. Fame and Glory is a 4-year-old son of Montjeu from Griada by Shirley Heights. He was bred in England by Ptarmigan Bloodstock and Kirsten Rousing. He's owned by Derek Smith and trained by Aidan O'Brien, ridden to victory by Johnny Murtaugh. Fame and Glory covers the about distance of a mile and 5/16 in 2:13.57. We'll continue with stakes racing action from the Curragh with the 3-year-old fillies going in the Irish 1,000 guineas.
Look set. They're off. Anna Salai broke away smartly. Also Lady Darshan up on the far side. Gillen Agrena towards the rail. Then racing right up on the outside now, Full of Hope. And in between horses is Queen of Troy. So it's Full of Hope who races on into the lead, being followed by Queen of Troy. Gillen Agrena towards the inside. Anna Salai. And they're being followed by Lady Darshan. Just behind them is Lolly for Dolly with Lady Springbank. What About Me is next. Famous towards the inside. Then towards the outer is Atasari, and then comes just in behind the leaders is Music Show. Racing on now with 4.5 furlongs to go. Full of Hope and Queen of Troy from Gillen Agrena in third. Anna Soleil is next with Lady Darshan. Lolly for Dolly, What About Me and Famous. Lady Springback is next with Music Show, and then comes Betra, Remember When and Crystal Gal. They're racing now towards the 3 mark, and Full of Hope and Sean Levy in front of Gillen Agrena. Kevin Manning second. They're being followed in the centre of the track by Anna Soleil, who's improving. Lady Darshan in between horses making headway. Famous is on the rail. Lolly for Dolly is next. Remember When. Then Music Show. But it's now Anna Salai who's come there on the near side for Ashma Atebi to just pick it up from Lady Darshan, and Richard Hughes bidding for a big double. Remember When puts in a big run, and here comes Music Show finishing well on the outside. But it's Anna Salai in front. Betra on the far side racing up towards the line, and Betra on the inside for Pat Smullen. From Anna Salai, Music Show, Remember When. Lily Langtree is fifth.
Bethra picks up the victory, 16-1 on this filly in a blanket finish over Anna Salai, with only a head back to Music Show, the 3-1 favorite. Another long shot at 20-1. Just a short head back was Remember When. So we had 4 fillies right on the wire together. In fact, it wasn't far back to Lily Langtree finishing in the 5th spot either. So we've got obviously a very closely matched 3-year-old filly division to keep our eye on in Europe this spring as Bethra picks up the victory. She is a 3-year-old daughter of Marjou from Rev Diman by Highest Honor. bred in Ireland by Tull Park Limited, known by Sheikh Hamdan, trained by Dermot Weld, who picked up his third victory in the Irish 1000 Guineas with this win. Pat Smullen in the irons, and it looks like we're going to have a pretty competitive 3-year-old filly division to follow through Ireland and England this year, as Beth Raw covers the about distance of 1 mile and 137.49. That'll wrap up this International Horses and Courses. Thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed this look at great stakes racing action from around the globe. Until next time, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great day at the races.